like and subscribe. The Galactic Bounty Hunter. Our location, Tarik 5, a war-torn planet, once a thriving hub of commerce and culture, now lay in ruins, a desolate radioactive wasteland where only the most desperate ventured. Out of the fog, a lone figure advances through the remains of a forgotten civilization. B.N.Rocker, seasoned bounty hunter, checked his tracker. The signal pulsed steadily, leading him ever closer to his quarry. The bounty was an escaped alien fugitive named Xylar, wanted dead or alive, with a significant bonus if brought in alive. Thorn preferred the latter. The extra credits would go a long way. He scanned the horizon, his visor enhancing the visibility through the radioactive storm. Ahead, the skeletal remains of an abandoned city loomed. Xylar had chosen to hide on this world for a reason. Few would dare venture here, his old homeworld. The storms make it impossible to track you, unless you're willing to come to the surface of this war-torn world. One of the last of his race, and he is determined to survive. Thorn moved swiftly, navigating the crumbling streets. He knew Xylar was close. The tracker's beeps had grown more insistent, and it only worked if he was within a 20-mile radius, due to the never-ending storms. He was lucky to find him. He returned to his old stomping grounds before the planet was wiped clean of life. One of his only mistakes. A sudden movement caught his eye. Thorn spun, drawing his blaster just as a figure darted from the shadows. Xylar, a sleek reptilian alien with glowing blue eyes and agile limbs, sprinted through the ruins. Thorn gave chase. They weaved through the city's remains, vaulting over debris and sliding under fallen beams. Xylar was fast, but Thorn had the advantage of experience and technology. He fired a warning shot, narrowly missing the fugitive but forcing him to veer off course. Xylar's path led them to the outskirts of the city, where ancient alien ruins lay partially buried in sand. These ruins, older than the city itself, majestic. Even now, Thorn felt a chill as he entered the site. The tracker indicated that Xylar had stopped. Thorn slowed his pace. The ruins were a labyrinth of narrow corridors and hidden chambers. It was easy to get lost or worse, ambushed. Thorn's grip on his blaster tightened. A sound echoed through the passageways, a scraping noise followed by a low hiss. Thorn followed the sound. He rounded a corner and found himself in a vast chamber, illuminated by shafts of dim, filtered light. At the center stood Xylar, cornered. "Into the line, Xylar," Thorn called out. "You can make this easy or hard. Your choice." Xylar snarled. "You'll never take me alive, bounty hunter." Thorn smirked. "That's where you're wrong." Xylar raises an energy blaster and screams, "Time to die, bounty hunter." Xylar fires. Thorn lunges forward, narrowly evading the crackling energy blast, closing the gap instantly. They start exchanging a flurry of blows and shots in a furious, almost choreographed dance of survival. Xylar's agile movements and raw strength were formidable, his attacks swift and unrelenting. Thorn, however, matched him with sheer skill, countering each strike with precision. They fought fiercely, neither willing to give an inch, the sounds of their struggle echoing through the ancient ruins. Amidst the chaos, Thorn saw a brief opening. With a swift maneuver, he disarmed Xylar, the alien's weapon clattering to the ground. In the same fluid motion, Thorn pinned Xylar beneath him, his blaster aimed squarely at the alien's head, the fight decisively over. "Alive, then," Thorn panted, securing restraints on the struggling fugitive. "You're coming with me." The hunt was over, and the bonus was as good as his. Thorn kept his blaster trained on Xylar, his breath steadying as the intensity of the fight fades in the seconds passing. Xylar sighed, a sound heavy with years of burden. "You don't understand, bounty hunter," he began, his voice a rough whisper. "I am the last of my kind. My people were massacred, our civilization destroyed. They branded me a war criminal, but it was a lie. I was only trying to protect this ancient site." Thorn's eyes narrowed, but he didn't interrupt. There was something genuine in Xylar's tone, something that piqued his curiosity. "For 7,000 years, My family has guarded these ruins. Xylar continued, his gaze drifting to the towering structures around them. Xylar's eyes met Thorn's. I survived by chance, hiding among the dead. When I emerged, I swore to continue my family's legacy, to protect this site with my life. But they found me, twisted the story, and made me out to be the villain. They said I committed atrocities, but I was only defending my home. Thorn felt a flicker of doubt. He had heard countless pleas and excuses in his line of work, but why come back here knowing he'd be hunted? This story had a ring of truth to it. Xylor gestured towards a nearby chamber, the entrance adorned with ancient symbols. Because this is where I belong. Whether to continue my duty or to die alongside my family, I had to return. This tomb, he said, his voice breaking slightly, holds the remains of my ancestors. They were heroes, defenders of our world. I couldn't let their memory be desecrated. He pointed to an ornate stone door, slightly ajar, revealing the dim interior. In there, you'll find the tomb of protectors. Their sacrifices are written in those walls, their legacy etched in stone. I'm not a war criminal. I'm a guardian of the tomb from a long line of guardians, returning to my rightful place. Thorn glanced at the entrance, then back at Xylar. The alien's sincerity was hard to ignore. You're saying you're willing to die for this? Xylor nodded solemnly. It means protecting the honor and legacy of my people. Then yes, I would rather die here as a protector than live as a falsely accused criminal. Shoot me, I beg you. Leave my corpse by the door and be gone. Wow, Rocker says. He steps back, weapon pointed at his head. Xylar closes his eyes and drops to his knees. Guess I don't need the bonus that bad, Thorn says, firing the weapon. Show me, Thorn said. Show me the tomb. Xylar opens his eyes in shock, looking over his shoulder. He sees an old torch on the wall lit, clearly from the blaster. He looks back at the bounty hunter in amazement. As they move towards the ancient chamber, Thorn couldn't help but feel a grudging respect for the alien. He stood at the crossroads of duty and compassion, caught in a story as old as time itself. Thorn reached for his communicator. This is Thorn, requesting evac at the drop location in 20. No sign of the perp, just skeletons and radioactive dust bunnies here. Let's check Alderaan next. I heard he used to hang out there. He glanced at Xylar, a small smile tugging at his lips, then turned and walked away. Yeah, I'll meet you at the drop zone in 20. This is not goodbye, nor the end. Until the story continues, my friends. B.N.Rocker.